So first off, thank you guys for having me here. My name is Stephen Higgins. I'm a director of automation for a benefits administration company called Empyrean. We provide benefits administration services and products to HR groups with large organizations. Kind of as Lauren mentioned, a really interesting way to be thinking about AI. Your employees, whether it's yourself or your team or your extended team, are starting to uncover lots of use cases and value for all sorts of things. So my focus is going to be around, from an organizational standpoint, how do you build an environment that allows that to occur, and then provide the ability to guard and protect your digital assets in this new age that we find ourselves in. First thing I want to kind of cover is really around the mindset of how you should be viewing AI. Lauren kind of talked through some initial ways. It's not a add-on technology. This is a dimensional technology. So it's going to span the full breadth of just about everything we do. So think of this as like a new cloud emerging technology, for example, where it spans and impacts just about everything we do on a regular basis. So like I mentioned before, it's going to permeate all layers of the business. It's going to be embedded. You're already seeing it, but in the next couple of years, it's going to be embedded in every technology that we use, every process that we're operating within. You're going to find that every product you use is going to have its AI assistant. It's going to be part of the norm. As part of that, we should be looking at how does this integrate into our existing AI principles. One of the things that I typically challenge our leaders in our organization whenever they reach out to me with concerns around, well, how do we handle AI in this area? My response is usually, how do we handle it today with humans? If our data security policies or data retention policies or user access management policies aren't robust enough to handle AI, are they really robust enough to begin with? So start looking at it through that lens of, how are we handling these concerns that we're finding ourselves having as a business today with our human counterparts? AI is really going to help quickly magnify those gaps in any current policies or quality frameworks that you guys have in place today. If you mind clicking a little bit further ahead. Yep. And then you can use, like I mentioned before, the parallel between the human workforce. So the concerns that I'm seeing customers in particular start to have now is around how we're handling data with AI. How are we ensuring decision making and accuracy is being complete? How are we making sure compliance is occurring? These are all concerns that we really should be having for our direct or partnered employees that we may be contracting with as part of our day-to-day. So start to think through how you would handle this if the conversation was flipped into, how are you making sure your employees are handling data appropriately? How are you making sure quality of how they're communicating to customers and performing their functions?
Cloud Leadership Circle is brought to you by Dunyasi Ventures, a leading provider of expert recruitment services. Whether you are starting out or scaling up, Dunyasi Ventures recruitment solutions will give you access to expert recruiters who will find the right fit every time. Contact Dunyasi Ventures today for a free consultation to build your dream team.
One of the ways to do that is understanding the concept of shadow AI. So this may be a new term for you. So what is shadow AI? So shadow AI is essentially any use of AI applications that are occurring within your business that haven't been officially approved or have oversight from your organization's leaders. This is happening whether you think it is or not. And honestly, no matter what types of controls you may be thinking that you're applying on your organization, I've met with several organizations that mimic what I consider happened during the onset of the internet, where you would talk with business owners and the response was, well, I don't really need a website. Nobody's ever going to go to the internet to shop for things. So how odd that sounds today is kind of what I'm starting to see replay here with AI. Being mindful that shadow AI is going to exist, and then being aware of what the risks are, so that way you can come to the table proactively with your employees to make sure that you provide a welcoming environment in a way that you guys can control. That is going to be very important. So risks associated with shadow AI is the same with any other application or technology that your employees may be accessing without any review. So you're opening yourself up to potential data breaches, compliance violations, inconsistent usage of tools. So every hour there's a new AI product or ChatGPT wrapper that's hitting the market. And you may have multiple employees using a varying array of AI tools and getting different quality or accuracy outputs. So you're going to lose inefficiency in making sure that you have consistent return on what that type of work looks like. And then finally, security vulnerabilities are also associated with that as well. So ways that you can mitigate that. So first and foremost, this is one that I just champion big time because I've seen it before even AI kind of hit the scene, is foster a culture of openness. Encourage your employees to start to look at how AI can help them within their workforce. Upskill them, make it a welcoming environment. Now, obviously providing tools that you guys have the ability to monitor the security aspect, control security aspect measures is going to be very important. But the first thing is to just not abruptly say no. Provide alternatives. This is providing extreme value to your workforce, and it's really going to be what all of us as employees are going to need to have in order to stay competitive in this market in the future. In order for us to handle the soon to occur, it's already starting, excessive requirements placed on ourselves as employees to be able to deliver more faster at that same quality or better quality as before. So make sure that you're also being clear on usage policies. Be very transparent. Try to relate those use cases to things that would be meaningful to each of the employees that you have within different departments. Something for an app developer isn't necessarily going to resonate the same way as it would be for an analyst in operations. So make sure that you're being very clear and able to translate those use cases appropriately to different targeting groups. Training and resources. Know that this is happening, so definitely make sure that you're starting to look at upskilling your workforce. It's only going to make your business stronger than trying to just let employees figure it out on themselves and just kind of learn as the industry moves. And then monitor usage. So make sure that you guys are also having that oversight and governance control over how employees are using products, what they're using them for, and so on. I didn't want to just I've been a lot of these presentations and I've seen a lot of just throwing, best practices at people that really isn't helpful around taking that outside of the presentation. So I wanted to give you guys just two main products in the market that I know of today that are really helpful for monitoring AI usage. I know that there's lots of products that can monitor the usage of just products in general, but it's really narrowing that down to the prompt level or within the application level. So a couple products I wanted to kind of throw out to the group just so you guys can research these if your business is interested in moving into more of a shadow AI management mindset. One of those is Cyberhaven. Several different features that come out of this platform. If you want to click ahead here, and you can just click through just to the full of the screen. I'll just review this here. This tool allows you to locate all of the AI tools being used across your organizations today. They create a really good center console to monitor activity. They also have some risk IQ functionality that'll help you to understand risks that may be associated with those applications that your employees are using today. You can also control and enforce some of your security policies as part of that process. Another one, Portal 26. This is one that I've actually been working with this company for a number of years now, and they do a really, really great job at connecting to your existing security infrastructure. So whether you're using Zscaler, Netscope, Palo Alto products, it kind of sits on top of that layer. And what it does is it will monitor and manage that traffic specifically to all of these AI sites that are occurring. So you can get insights all the way down to the prompt level. You can see the prompts that are actually being used in these applications from a security standpoint, also from an ongoing training standpoint. I use this type of information a ton for trying to understand new ways that our employees are looking at AI to help them do their work as part of that process. So really good products out there for you guys to both look at. Wanted to kind of throw that out there to the group as well. All right, you can go ahead and go to the next one here. I wanted to kind of use some real use cases of how the company that I work for, how we've deployed our AI governance framework in order to upskill our workforce, but also provide some security metrics. As I mentioned before, I work for a benefits administration company. So we are in the business of handling and transferring private health and individual data. So a really controlled industry for us to be monitoring. But we have been very, very encouraging of the use of AI within certain controls. But we know that it is a tool to allow our teams to augment and scale our existing workforce. So a couple ways that we did that is, I don't know if there's the click sequence is a little bit out here on here. Policy development. So what I did is I went through and looked at our existing policy framework that we had in place. So these would be our data security policies, classification, ethics, any of those types of policies that we use to monitor the work our human counterparts are doing. I started there first because, like I said before, this is a dimensional technology. It's not necessarily a new add-on. It's something that's going to be permeating across all of the work that we do. Took that information and then revised it to reflect meaningful AI type of technology. So getting, like I said before, clear documentation and good policies in place and communicating those to your workforce is extremely important. So we did that as well. We also formed a formalized governance team. Most of our business, like most businesses today, had very limited AI experience. So most of the resources on our governance team are new to AI, just like you'll find within your organization. But that didn't stop us from putting that together. So what we consisted it of is everything funnels underneath our executive leadership team, primarily our CITO. Then we pull in key resources from our IT, our development, from HR, from our contracts and compliance team, as well as our data management and security. So what we do is we meet, just from our perspective, we meet on a monthly basis where we will go through and talk through all of the new work that we've been seeing occur within the business around AI. We'll look at new products that our procurement team is working with our business on. We'll review usage of existing products. We'll talk through any new concerns that come up, but having that regular frequency and making sure that you have those resources that currently exist within your organization come together and look at AI through that lens is really important. It's not a one-time deal. It is an ongoing, ever-evolving activity. And then process integration. We deployed some of these steps that we created during our governance team process into existing procurement processes, training opportunities. We've actually started to do it. I'm going through our compliance training right now, and we've incorporated those aspects into our data security training curriculum. So getting that information translated and trickled down into our existing framework of procurement and training has been very important for us and something that we've done very quickly. Another thing that we did as part of our business, like I mentioned before, is we were heavily reliant on encouraging responsible AI adoption. I was very, very blessed where I am today in the fact that I wasn't met with a whole lot of stern, absolutely not, using AI within our organization, which allowed us to quickly get tools that we can monitor and provide security on into the hands of employees across every department in our organization. And I want to make that very clear. Make sure that you are not necessarily localizing this to a specific target group or a specific role or resource. You could definitely do that, but you're going to get most of that value by spanning that out to the broader organization. I find very many use cases from resources that I would least expect to have those ideas because they're using this technology in a way that I never would have thought of. And it's a really valuable gain for us to be able to use that information and then translate that to our broader team and business. We do this by all sorts of things. I host a weekly office hours where the entire business comes together and we talk through new things that are happening within AI, ways that we can use the tool sets that we have today, answer questions that people have, give opportunities for people to show off how they're using some of our AI tools today. And that's open to every department, every resource in those departments. We also do regular monthly challenges. So I do AI monthly challenges to the entire business where we do rewards. And really that's to encourage people to actively on a regular basis engage with these types of tools and making that fun. Byproduct that we've gotten out of that is really great, quick innovation. Teams are able to do really quick POCs for things that they work on a regular basis that may take us a year or more if we moved into our formal product development life cycle. So we're able to get stuff out there quickly. They're able to learn on the fly, and they're able to also recognize bad usage of AI. So that's one of the things too that I know a lot of people, if you're on this call, have used AI quite a bit recently. You can usually immediately tell now when somebody's using it poorly, as Mike kind of indicated around the email translation piece. It's a really great way though for your workforce to start to see that up front. So the more experience they get, the more attuned they're going to be to encountering those types of environments. And we're starting to see that now from our sales perspective, where we're getting actual sales quotes or requests from AI agents. We're now moving past humans engaging with humans as part of the selling process. Getting our sales team in particular really upskilled in how to work in that environment has been super beneficial for us. And that was really it. So I wanted to just kind of say thank you guys for letting me be a part of this. You can find me on LinkedIn. I love talking. If you know me, I love talking about AI. If you're engaged with this or you have any other questions or thoughts or things that you've seen, feel free. You can use this QR code. You can find me quickly on LinkedIn.